Uh, Every time I actually hit the live button, I'm like, no, wait, I did it. We're here. I'm live. I'm the only one here. That's cool. No worries. Oh, nervous laughs. Here we are, you guys. But seriously, what's up? West Pyatt, uh, Coast Range CrossFit. I own that place. We're coming up on 12 years on the 26th in 5 days. Oh my God, Friday. That's so crazy how fast that comes. Work for CrossFit headquarters as well. And I'm here to answer all your questions about health, nutrition, fitness, whatever you got. So if you got questions, drop them in the comments on the live on Instagram. If you guys are part of our school community here, go ahead and drop them in the comments on the Zoom. We'll be recording this and reposting it for all of my students on the school app in the academy. So you guys will get this in a little bit. But let's kick it off, you guys. I had some questions already brought in and ready to go. And over the last few times that we've done this, excuse me, over the last few times we've done this, I've talked a lot about kind of like the nuts and bolts, the teaching and the seeing and the correcting, and a few, just real basic athlete questions. And today I want to dive bigger or a little bit more into the bigger picture and the athlete development and mindset side of stuff. So, the first question is, how do you know when you're making an impact as a coach? I love this question so freaking much. Here's why. It's when you had that moment. It's when I had that moment where I realized, oh my God, I'm actually changing people's lives. Keep going. Because all the way up until then, you're trying to build your own credibility and confidence within yourself. And you're trying to fake it till you make it in a way. And when you have that moment where you're sitting there and you know you're making an impact as a coach because this person has lost X amount of body fat or weight, or this person made it to this stage of competition, or this person did the thing that they said they wouldn't do, but you knew they could, and you were the one that helped them get there. And then they're coming back to you and saying, thank you for doing that thing for me. The longer you coach and the more consistently that you coach, you're going to stack those things up one after another. And at first, they're real basic, like somebody coming back to you the next day and being like, oh my God, that tip you gave me after class yesterday that wasn't clicking. Well, I went home and I practiced in my garage and I nailed it. Oh my God, thank you so much. And you're like, oh, yes, there's a win for me. And it's almost like if you were wearing flair. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that movie, but you got your another badge of flair kind of that you get when when those people come to you and say, hey, thank you, that really helped. So I think that it's as you stack those up, you start to understand like, okay, I'm making an impact. And one day you're going to have, God, I have so many stories and so many things are going through my head. Like the first person I ever worked with who was a paraplegic, he was a sheriff down in Southern County and had been shot on duty and became a paraplegic. And Bill Grunler, at CrossFit Inferno looked at me and went, you're up. Here you go, brother. Let's do this. And he gave me some ideas of things we can do. But both of us and all of us, all three of us, were sitting there figuring this thing out together. And it was number one, his amazing attitude, no quit and ready to rock and roll no matter what we did and no matter how many times we messed it up, right? And could have gotten it better, he still kept coming back. And that told us that, okay, we're at least he's coming back. and hey, he got better at that benchmark than he did last time. So I guess this stuff is kind of working. And then things started to click and we started to create a little library of movements that he could do and how we would modify them. And you realize in those moments that this thing that you're doing isn't really just a thing anymore. It's actually like a prescription that you could give to somebody to change their life. So, how do you know when you're making an impact as a coach? Well, there you go. Keep stacking up those wins and be ready for them to come. because in CrossFit, it's inevitable that they're going to come, especially with how mainstream it is now. And if you don't feel like you're getting those, take a step back for a second and look at the people you're working with and ask yourself, where did they start? Where are they now? And how did they get there? And were you a part of that journey in some way? And you can find a million wins within there already, I guarantee you. So take your time there. And if you still can't find them, hit me up. I'll help you out. Hey, come here, lay down, lay down. My dog gets really mad when I do these because she's super jealous dog. So she's going to walk around this tiny little house the entire time, being as loud as she possibly can. All right, next one. How do you help newer athletes build confidence in the gym? Great question. I help newer athletes build confidence in the gym by telling them all of the things that they're doing right constantly and praising them and rewarding them and celebrating them as much as humanly possible when they are doing those things right. And that's as simple as Terry, great heels down. You're crushing it. Lauren, awesome chest up on the way down. Now, are there other things that may be happening in that moment? Yeah, maybe fault wise. And as long as it's not a safety concern, I'm going to allow it to go because I want these people to know that not that I'm cheerleading them at all. What I'm doing is telling them, great job doing the thing I asked you to do. That's called being coachable. And if you're coachable, I really want you here. So please stay. And I'm building their confidence slowly over time. But I'm going to make sure that I give them that good shit sandwich. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make sure that I don't just praise them the entire day. There's got to be something. And I want it to be something basic and major. That is, so what I mean by that is one of the common themes that we see in CrossFit, which is like, neutral spine or maintaining midline stabilization, making sure the weight's in the heels, making sure that they're getting through the full range of motion of the movement, making sure they're balanced, making sure that they are using the correct hip stuff. So their hips are moving the way that they should in order to create power or balance. And as long as they're doing those basics, and I see all these good stuff going on, I'm going to look for one of those. Not as long as they're doing the basics, sorry. I'm going to look for one of those basic things that they're not doing that I know is going to make the biggest impact on their movement. So if I see somebody sitting on their toes, for example, during all the movements, hey, let's get them flat-footed so we can build everything else up above that, right? Like that would be a huge help. So that would be my like go-to help that person would be like, hey, great job pushing your knees out. Hey, heels down for me. You know, you do that by pushing your hips back. Okay, yeah, better like that. Let's do that from now on. Yes, awesome job pushing your hips back to keep the weight in the heels. And I just gave him another attaboy, basically, and saying, great job doing that thing I asked you to do. So, number one thing for you guys is make sure that going into the workouts, you're doing a good specific warm up. That specific warm up is where you're going to set up the cues, the body parts and directions that they need to travel, so that when you're cueing those newer athletes, they're ready for it, they've heard it, they understand why you want them to do it, and you're going to praise them for doing it. Come back again and give me another, please. That's how you build confidence in your newer athletes in the gym. Now, here's another way you do that. Remember their freaking name. When they walk in the door, say their name. When they leave, say their name. You have no idea the confidence you will be building of their trust in you. That, wow, okay, this guy remembers my name, and that feels good. Okay, I'm going to keep coming here. They praise me when I do things right. They remember my name. That's better than 95% of the environments we usually are in every single day. You are already winning this person over and building their confidence. Plenty of ways we can go with that and so much more to say with it, but let's keep moving. Next question. Let's get back to the bigger picture. What's the most unexpected? I haven't looked at these, by the way, until right now. I just like pulled them off. I put them over here, and here we are. And I kind of like cruise through them, but I didn't look at this one, and I'm reading it right now, first time to you guys and to myself. So, what's the most unexpected lesson you've learned through your coaching? Wow. Hmm. The most unexpected lesson I've learned from my coaching. I would, man, what's coming to me immediately is this, yeah, wow, really anybody can do it. Even though before, 2009, 10, 11, I'm reading through the journals and Greg Glassman is saying CrossFit is infinitely scalable. Your grandma's needs and the Olympic athletes' needs vary by kind and not, or vary by degree and not kind. And I'm going, yeah, 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 and I'm just slipping up that Kool-Aid, right? And now 12 years later as an affiliate owner, 16 years later doing this thing and studying this thing and going through the levels from, forging elite fitness. I just followed the path of CrossFit almost to working with our older population, our morbidly obese, our paraplegics, our traumatic brain injuries, our Parkinson's, our strokes, our normal everyday people, our knee replacements, our hip replacements. It's like, give me our autistic kids, our downs. I don't know, give me something, guys. What do you got? And I'll see if I can guarantee you I've done it. I've done CrossFit with it, not a modified version of it that is using unilateral movement patterns in twisting, whatever. I'm talking like, let's do Fran. Everybody ready? Three, two, one, go. And my Parkinson's class does Fran. It really is that this thing is for everyone, but not everybody just wants to do it. And that's the hard truth that I've had to realize is that in this world, there are some things that really truly are for everyone and will help everyone and make everyone's lives better. But yet, people will still choose not to do that. For what reasons? I don't know. And that is not for me, but for psychologists to figure out. And CrossFit is one of those things. If you are somebody out there that goes, not for me, I can't, please hit me up in my DMs. I want to know, I mean, like we've got guys that have literally all four limbs missing. And he was one of the first CrossFitters to ever do it. Kyle Maynard, I believe was his name. I gotta look that up just to make sure. But Kyle Maynard, American author. Bam, nailed it. Yeah, you don't forget guys like this. Kyle Maynard, man, look him up. He was like the original OG CrossFitter back in the day that was like, what's your excuse? Hey, and the nicest human ever, just like cruising around the world. Look at this. The first picture I see of him is him doing like a handstand on kettlebells with his nubs. Like, this is so awesome. So awesome. So, yeah, I think that that's what I would say. I would say that CrossFit is really, honestly, for everyone. And I had to learn that through coaching literally everyone. I've coached literally every type of thing you can almost ever imagine, and if I haven't, I want to know who it is so I can go coach them and give them CrossFit and be like, here you go. Because we got to remember too that like for some of these people, because I'm sure you guys could come up with some situations where you're like, no, you couldn't do that with somebody who's 1,000 pounds sitting in bed. And I'm like, yeah, I could. I totally could. 100%. Like, let's talk about Fran. I would literally have them like move their ankles up and down like this, plantar flexion, you know. flexion, dorsiflexion, plantar flexion, back and forth 21 times. And then I would have them do as much as they could with their arms 21 times. 15, 15, 9, 9. Time, bitch. I'll see you tomorrow. And they're going to be like, that was too easy, or they're going to be like, I'm going to be like, sweet, see you tomorrow. So it's pretty rad. That's pretty rad. All right, let's move on. Um, what's one thing you wish all CrossFit coaches would stop doing? I've seen this as like an actual meme, I think, somewhere. I think Best Hour of Their Day does this all the time, and I love it. I would like for them to stop beating themselves up when people don't want to listen. And instead, what I mean, let's get some context to this. You're a coach, you got this person in your class who you try to say, use this weight, you try to say, do this scale, you try to say, try this, and they say, no. Or however that thing goes down, but they end up doing their own thing and it's different than what everybody else is doing in a way. And you're like, how do I deal with this thing? Like what I would stop doing is beating yourself up about the why behind why isn't he or she or they, like not listening to you. And instead, I would redevelop your specific warm up. And here's how I would redevelop it in this way. You're going through a thruster, for example. You're getting ready to do Fran. I love this. This is great that we're sticking with Fran. It's a good theme. Man, this will work great in this context. You have Fran in front of you. This guy's going to go RX and he's got maybe like five unbroken kipping pull-ups and then he's got to break it up and 95 pounds for him looks like 135, for most people doing Fran. And he's breaking up the 21, 15, 9 into like 3 sets, 4 sets, whatever, 5 sets even in the set of 15. I got you. Here's what you're going to do. Specific warm up, execution part number one, you're going over the front squat, then you go over the push press, then you go over the thruster. You talk a little bit about timing on the way up, timing on the way down, and nobody's touched anything but a barbell yet. Now, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go, all right, I want to show you guys a demo of the speed at which I want the entire group to be moving at for these next 5 reps. And you have one of your fitter persons or yourself demo that speed at which you want to see them move those 5 repetitions up and down. And it would look something like this if it was you. Ready, 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. And you can time it. Okay, so we need to finish those 5 reps in under, what was that? Probably like 7 to 9 seconds, we'll say. All right, everybody pick up your barbells, put it on your shoulders. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. 3, and you go, boom, 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 boom. Ready, and time. And if there's still people moving, you say, that's your weight for today, you guys. We need you to move at that speed today to get the stimulus of the workout. And today's going to be a day where coach gets to decide, so nobody gets to say otherwise. All right? All right, here we go. And then you're going to say, hey, but if you were moving faster than that, let's add some weight. Now, the second set, those people stay with that bar for me, you guys. Let's do a set of 4. All right. Remember, we need to stay at that same speed. You do a set of 4. A couple other people maybe went a bigger jump than they should have. And you can catch those people now too and be like, hey, actually bring your weight down or bring your weight up a little bit. And then maybe one more set. So now everybody's super warm and everybody has chosen their weight based off of what you have said and why. You gave them an objective reason that they just aren't moving within the time domain that they need to move within during those reps. And that's the point, is to hit that energy stimulus. So you can use the speed of the group as a whole, not just one person trying to be like, I know, but you're not moving fast enough. We watch the group and you're not performing like the group. We need you to do something with the weight or the reps or whatever in order to fix that. And if you set up and structure your specific warm-ups that have enough time to be able to do those reps, I think that works gangbusters. Where that's a problem is if you do strength metcon every single day, you're going to have a real hard time getting that in. But I think you still totally can just by when you demo it, you go, okay, guys, here's what I want it to look like speed wise on these first few sets. And you demo that speed. And then you go, once you've gotten to that weight, I'm going to come tap you on the shoulder and be like, bam, that's your first set. That was great. That's the speed we're looking for. And they're waiting for you to run around and tap them on the shoulder with that. So that's a good one to help out with the, what's one thing you wish, wait, was that it? Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. I hope that helps. So let's go on to the next one. What's your strategy for helping someone set performance goals without burning out? Oh, awesome. Don't tell them what to do. Help guide them through what they already know how to do. And then when you figure out the things they know how to do, you can kind of habit stack that into learning how to do the other habits that they're trying to learn. So let me rephrase that real quick. So you got somebody who is struggling to lose some weight, for example, and they're coming to you with help on nutrition. And what you want to say to them as they come to you and they go like, oh man, I don't know what I should really be working on that much. I feel like I eat pretty well. Like, I don't really eat out that much. I don't drink that much, blah, blah, blah. Like they eat pretty well, right? You're like, okay, great. So here's what I want for you to do is to just track your food using like pictures or something like that. And we'll kind of see where that takes us. And you get 2 weeks worth of pictures of these meals that they've just eaten. You just kind of make a shared album with them. And so you can kind of see them as they come in and you can create a dialogue about it. And at the end of it, you're going to sit down and just go like, okay, so looking at these pictures, I mean, tell me, what do you see? Listen to their answer. And if they're like, I don't know, I see a lot of protein. And you look at it and you're like, man, that's not a lot of protein at all. That's barely any protein. But remember that for them, this actually might be a lot of protein. And maybe they went above and beyond, even though you didn't ask them to. You told them to just be normal, right? When they're doing this thing. And they probably went above and beyond and ate more protein than they ever have in their life. You're going to be like, awesome. So let's figure out how much protein that is. You do a quick Google search, you figure out that it's about 50 grams of protein that they ate that day. And in your head, you're like, oh, this person's dying. Oh my God. And they're like, in their head, they're like, 50 grams of protein. Like, I'm going to be a rock star by tomorrow. And the education is lacking, and also the empathy is lacking. So as a coach, what I need to do now is come back down to their level and go, hell yeah. All right, so good job. So 50 grams, how hard was that for you? And they go, ooh, you know what? I know you told me not to change my diet, but I did a little bit. And I mean, and it was kind of hard. It was kind of hard to get that much protein. I'm proud of myself for doing it. And now here's the next step. How likely are you to do that on a scale of 1 to 10 tomorrow? And they go, ooh, like a 2. And you're like, okay, what if I said one time over the next week? Could you repeat that again? They're like, oh, yeah, totally. Okay. Is that a 10? Yeah, easy, like an 11. Okay, let's do that. So, what I want you to do over the next 2 weeks is 2 times you're going to try to repeat that. Does that sound like a good plan? Yeah, it sounds like a good plan. Now, you took the information, asked them what they thought of it, and used that to guide them towards a good, actionable thing, homework to do over the next couple of weeks that would probably see good results. Now, as a coach, ask yourself, what are the results you're hoping to see of that thing? Let's get a test on it now. And then in a few weeks, let's get a test on it again. But wait about 4 weeks, you guys, for any nutrition type of stuff. And for physical stuff, that's another talk. But wait and then get another test on it and show them the difference. Was it the same? Was it better? Was it worse? Any of those are great things to talk about and to move forward to the next thing. And you just rinse, wash, and repeat with this human, reminding yourself that they are not a robot. You can give certain people, especially CrossFitters, macros and calories and cups and measures and spoons and weight scales, and they will do it because they're type A. That's what they do. But it doesn't mean that that's what they need. And it doesn't mean that that's what's going to get them long term to their goals. So give them one goal to focus on for about 2 weeks at a time, 4 weeks, ideally, and then reset that goal every single time and allow them to be the ones that decide what they want to do moving forward. Your job is just to know, hey, is that thing that they want to work on within the context of what it is that they're trying to accomplish? Is it going to get them closer to their goal? And if you could check the box that you have with that, then let's freaking rock and roll, man. So I think in order to help, someone with setting performance goals without burning them out is to allow them to set their own goals and for you to make sure it's within the context of the performance that they're looking for in whatever way that is. Um, and then stacking those up over time becomes what they are, a beautiful little athlete that you created. Good job. All right, couple more and then we're out of here. What? Let's go up here. What's a universal cue that works well for all levels? I love this. All right, I'm going to give you instead of a universal cue, well, it's kind of like messing with the question, but I want to give you a blueprint instead. So instead of a universal cue, think of a universal way to say any cue. And that sounds like this: name, body part, direction, and when. If you can, excuse me, Wes. Butt back when you initiate that deadlift. I'm ready. That's okay. Butt back when I initiate. Got it. Sounds good. And it could be good if I had more context to it and I've, gone through the movement, but it sounded like this. And it went, hey, Wes, butt back. It's like, okay, if I know the movement, here's how I would do that. But if I don't know the movement, am I going to do that? Um, so I think that instead of a universal cue, think of that universal blueprint to say any cue that you want. Name their name first, catches their attention, and lets everybody else know, hey, whatever I'm saying after this ain't for you. But what do you think they're all doing? Oh, Barbara is getting a cue. I'm not listening, right? And then you go, hey, Barbara, chest up in the bottom of your squat. And what do you think Diana Karen do? Even though you didn't say their name, even though especially they know it's not for them, they're still going to try to perform a little bit more. So what's my universal cue that works well for all levels is a blueprint: your name, your body part, direction, and when. All right, let's do uno maso. All right, let's check Instagram real quick and see if we have any questions on here. Move my school guys down a little bit. All right. Oh, hey, what's up, y'all? Wow. I didn't know. I had my thing covered up by my, oh, cool. Okay. All right. Okay. I had my thing covered up by my camera down here. I didn't even know that all these people had joined. How fun is that? How fun is that? Okay. So, where was it? Okay. Here we go. What do you say to someone who says, I'll never be able to do they said pull up, but put movement here? Number one, be real. If I have somebody who is missing half of their body and they say, I will never be the speed jump rope champion of the world. I'm not going to be delusional, and be like, yeah, man, come on, we can make it happen. Like anything is possible. Kevin Garnett, right? Like, I'm going to go, yeah, you're probably right. And I'm going to let them know two things. Number one, that they are seen. I hear them, and I hear what you're saying. And yeah, you know what? I believe that that is true as well. But I've had a lot of people come up to me over the years and be like, I can never do CrossFit, or I will never make the CrossFit Games, or I will never make it to semifinals or regionals, or I can never join the regular class from my Parkinson's to a regular class. Like people, no, I could never do that. And I do my best, number two, not to laugh because I know that it is possible for 99% of this stuff to happen because I've witnessed it and I've seen it. And I think that what most people haven't witnessed or seen is a goal put in a tribe like this, a goal put into a community like this, a goal put into a building like this, a goal put into an area like this, where there are people that are going to support and cheer and champion you on like you wouldn't believe towards that goal and give you everything you need to get yourself towards that goal in terms of the right mindset, the vicarious experiences that are necessary. Like you got to be able to see that, somebody close to me around me who used to be like me and is now not like me because they are where I want to be and have made the choices necessary to get there, that actually is there. They have the foundation set up for them. Now, I know that my facility is going to be the best place for them to do it because it's going to have the best foundation for them to go into. So the first thing I tell them is like, well, you already did the best thing you possibly do, which is joining this place. And this place is going to be the place that you do get that if you're ever going to get that. So if you're ever going to get a pull up, it's going to be here, like it's not going to be in your garage by yourself. It's not going to be a 24-hour fitness with your friend on a Friday. It's going to be here where the hard work gets done, where the intensity is had, where the accessory work and the pre-accessory work and the videos and education and everything and community spirit and vicarious experiences and just enough of, tough love are all there to get you that pull up, to get you that 400-pound back squat, to get you that first ever time. And I'm speaking from experience, literally just got a video this last weekend dancing since my accident. I mean, that doesn't make you want to tear up, then I don't know who you are. And, you know, for some people, a pull up is a really big deal. And for other people, like dancing is a really big deal. Look for that video coming soon, by the way. I'm posting that, Darlene. I hope you're ready. Um, yeah, something really cool is coming soon to my Instagram stories that you guys will see that like our Parkinson's class and our stroke class is just the heart and soul right now for me. It's like what keeps my passion right now just firing are those people in that class. So, um, this is how you end it right here. Tearing it up in front of strangers. Woohoo! Not if you're part of my school community, though. So thank you guys. I'll be sure to post this for you pretty soon here. And if you're not a part of my school community, please join us. I'll post the link in my bio. Basically, it's a bunch of nerds like me who are constantly on the CrossFit Journal, constantly on YouTube, constantly asking other coaches, constantly searching for mentorship, constantly having a white belt attitude, constantly reminding ourselves that the basics are super important and need to be revisited and retested. And there's also a whole 5 phase course in there that you can take self-paced on your own time. It's an awesome place, you guys, and it's really cheap every month. It's only 39 bucks a month. And I'm on there all the time adding stuff for you. And it's another passion of mine as well. So join me there. Thanks for joining me here. Thanks for joining me here. I'm signing off. I love you guys. Goodbye. Yeah, end it. Share it. All right, here we go. We're ending this thing down here too, guys. Sorry, I'm not good at this whole thing.